Hey, what's up? My name's Galactor, and in this video I want to give you guys a quick tour through my new lead template. This is supposed to be a source of inspiration, so please don't just copy everything and paste it in your own tracks, but instead just be creative with it. This template consists of 4 sounds from Serum that I created from scratch, and later on I will show you exactly how and why I created those specific layers. They don't have individual processing in the mixer channel because they all go through a lead bus. This bus then has an FX send for the delay and the reverb, and then both these channels go through another bus to glue the dry and the wet signals together. But before I show you all of this, let's have a listen to what it sounds like. So as I mentioned before, this is made out of 4 different serum layers. So let's have a look at every single one of them. The first layer is supposed to be like a solid base to build the rest of the sounds on. Because in the end I wanted to go for a nice, very full sounding supersaw. So that's why I started with this layer. Both oscillators have a saw wave and then 16 voices, but oscillator A has a little bit less detune than B, but has more blend in, so it's a little bit more blended in, while oscillator B has more detune, but it has less blend. So all together, these two oscillators without any processing in the mixer channel sound like this. And just oscillator A. And just oscillator B. And as you can hear, they're slightly different, but that's why it gives such a full sound in the end. So lead 2 has a relatively similar approach. Both oscillators have a saw wave, but now they only have 8 voices. Because I wanted another saw layer, but I wanted one that was a little bit more tight. So therefore there's less detune than the first layer, and without any processing it sounds like this. And just oscillator A. And just B. The next layer is quite similar to the first lead, but as you can see here it is pitched down by 3 octaves to give a nice low saw that functions as a body for the whole sound. So oscillator's A warp mode is selected to FM from B, which in basic terms means that it takes the information from oscillator B to shape its own sound. And this is what it sounds like without any processing. And then the last layer is supposed to bring a little bit more brightness and detail in the high end. It has a similar approach again to lead 1 and 3 with the saw waves and the 16 voices on each oscillator, but it has quite some detune again, and also it's blended in quite high because I wanted that full sound again. Now the only difference is that oscillator A is now pitched up by 2 octaves and oscillator B by 1, and without processing it sounds like this. So let's have a listen to all 4 layers without any processing in the mix channel. As you can hear, it doesn't sound so pleasant to listen to at this point. It's not as full as I want it to be. And that's why I rounded every single one through this mix bus over here, the lead bus. And I started with an EQ to cut out the lows and bring in a little bit more of the highs. I wanted to have a bit more of a sharper sound. And then next up is a distortion for some hard and soft clipping to make it a little bit more powerful. And if you've seen my other videos, you know that I like to use this compressor, which is called the glue. And as the name says, it's very good at gluing things together. It makes everything a little bit tighter and more powerful as well. I just used the preset the glue 2 here and then turn down the makeup gain a little bit. And in the end, to catch a few other small volume peaks, I added another compressor, the Pro C2. So all the leads together, and with the processing on this lead bus, it sounds like this. As you can hear, that already made quite a difference. And this signal's then going through this FX send. And here I loaded up first the delay 3, just the standard FL one. And all I did was just loading up, and the preset that is there, I didn't change anything except for turning down the wet, because it was a little bit too present. And this is just a simple BPM synced stereo delay. Then next up I have a Valhalla room to get a nice big and bright reverb. And I like to put another EQ behind that to shape the sound a little bit more, because especially with reverberation it brings in a little of a lows again, and you just don't want that in your leads most of the times. And since I also boosted the highs on the lead bus, I wanted to reduce the highs here by a little bit so that it's not clashing so much with the dry signal. And then the last one is a Pro C2, simply to sidechain the wet signal to the dry signal, and then it sounds like this. So then, as I mentioned before, both the lead bus and this FX send are going through another bus, this lead and FX bus, and this is a step that I usually don't always take, to be honest, but for this sound I actually really liked it and I think it works really well. And I started out with another EQ to cut out the lows, to make sure all of the lows were gone here, and boosted some of the highs again because I really wanted a bit of a brighter, sharper sound in there. Then again, the glue, same reason as before, just bring everything together in a nice way. This is followed by a multibed compressor, the good old OTT, to shape the sound a little bit more. This patcher just is the filter that I used in the build-up. The Pro C2 to catch a few more volume peaks, and a limiter to prevent clipping, and then the Kickstarter is just there for sidechaining in the drop while the kick is playing. And yeah, if you followed all these steps, you should end up with something that sounds like this. So that was it for the explanation for the template. May have turned out into a bit of a small tutorial actually as well, but I hope it was helpful for you in one way or another. And if you want, you can download this template for free with the link below in the description. And for the producers who don't use FL Studio, you can still download the folder and get the presets from Serum. So please make sure you leave a like on this video for the algorithm and subscribe to my channel as well. We're almost at the 500 subs mark, and if I hit that, I will give a very special surprise for you guys. Please also let me know what other templates you would like to see in the comments below, and then all I want to say is thank you for watching and see you next time.